Tell me your job.
I am a co-founder and COO at SERA. If you like very long hours for very low pay and you like to constantly be solving problems, then I think it's the perfect job for you.
I'm also the co-founder and CEO of SERA. We help growers worldwide produce more vegetables. So we work with greenhouses and we help them leverage tools, especially data, to be more efficient.
What do you do as a CEO?
Strategy, hiring, tech, legal stuff, and then 100 things between.
Cristian basically does everything.
What do you do?
Whatever Cristian doesn't want to do. I think for operations, there's a lot of pieces that fall under that umbrella. There's accounting, contracts, customer organization, basically anything that falls under a process. So that covers things like product development process, sales process, really designing how we do things from start to finish, what tools we use, and what kind of stages need to be in place for each of those processes to work well. And then it's this process of constant improvement and iteration.
So the company's called SERA, and you guys help growers grow more efficiently. So what's the company's history?
It's basically pure passion. I was building robots in my garden to automate gardening activities. At that time I was working at Amazon doing machine learning. I had this big dream about how you can optimize plant growth by using, A/B tests and machine learning and doing massive parallel experiments on plants. So I built this huge robot, spent a couple of thousands of Swiss francs on it, months of assembling it together and programming it, and in the end nothing came out. I just noticed that you cannot optimize anything outdoor, anything meaningfully. We were part of the same team at Amazon, the data science professional services team. Basically built the team up from the ground. We were organizing this program for graduates to start at Amazon as data scientists. We were in Milan, and it was one session where everybody had to say something about himself that nobody else knows. I said that I love farming, William said that he loves farming, and William wanted to buy a farm or move into a farm. I was into this robots thing, so we debated all night with tons of beer and wine on how we can change the world by using machine learning, how we can change the farming. And then we met the next day, and the first thing William says is, "Cristian, I was serious about it. Let's do it." This is how it started. So we talked with the co-founder, who is actually from the field, so he was building greenhouses. We validated a couple of things with him. He was also convinced. We started to do some very basic MVP just to validate some of our assumptions. So we went into a greenhouse, hacked their system, reversed engineered the software, extracted data, created some data science reports, created a book. The customer actually paid for it. It was our first sale, yes. We were super convinced of what we were doing and that we can have a huge impact. So we quit our jobs and started the company 3 years ago. Our vision is that every grower worldwide can grow anything. So we want to enable every grower to grow efficiently. And it's very rewarding, I must say. I mean, in the end, people write you thank you emails, they call you, right? Because they produce better and more vegetables, right? So this is super rewarding, actually.
Tell me a little bit about the stage that your company is at right now.
We're at a really exciting stage. We spent a lot of time fine-tuning the product and the service. And obviously you do that with a handful of really specific, dedicated customers. And I think we're now at the stage where we feel very confident where the service is. So we're in this scale-up phase. I think that the uplifts that we've seen with our development partners has been so good that we're, at this very exciting point where we think, okay, we can help a lot of people. Just raised our most recent round, which means that we have a little bit more firepower to scale up. That means scaling up sales process, scaling up our development team, and also just starting to roll out the service to more growers across more crop varieties and more geographies. The exciting thing about greenhouses is that no matter whether you're growing in China or the US or Italy or wherever, Africa, it doesn't matter. Crop varieties tend to be relatively similar, and the process by which you are effective in growing those crops is relatively similar. Not to say there aren't variations across different geographies.
Is it a hardware-based or is it a software-based product?
It's entirely software, so it's a mix of several things. The way the product currently works is we integrate with existing systems on site, extract the data, clean it, analyze it, and then use the analyses that we generate to do several things. The first thing that we do is help customers with their planning. So exactly what does it mean practically to grow a crop over the course of a cycle? The next thing that we do is continually monitor and evaluate the progress of that crop. And the third thing that we do is continually suggest improvements. As much as you would like to emphasize software and analytics, this is still a very human enterprise. And I think that one of the key advantages we have is we're really doing a hybrid model, which means that we have software, we run a bunch of analytics, but we also have a team of very experienced crop scientists on our side, really guiding the customer from start to finish using a human interface. I think in this field, something special. You have a trusted expert that you can call on the phone and say, okay, this happened. They'll say, okay, well, let me do some deep diving, and our service makes that very easy to do.
What do you love about the job?
It's the field I love. I think we are at the very beginning. Technology adoption in agriculture. I think agriculture will look very, very different in 10, 20 years from now on. You have an impact which you can see and measure, touch. So it's not something that doing some abstract calculation and where you're improving some KPIs that nobody really understands. So it's something physical. In the end, you're doing something good. I mean, you can really feel good about it, right?
When it comes to making decisions, especially cultivation decisions, the temptation for everyone is to use instinct, to be quite reactive, to fall into problem-solving, firefighting mode. And I think that one of the things I love about our job is that we structure everything. Yeah, so things become less chaotic, things become more precise. You really see the tangible uplift, not only in crop yields, but also in terms of people's psychological state. I've got a passion for data and technology, and I love those two things, but what I love even more is creating a change in the way that people approach a problem, especially with horticulture. That's, I think, what we've been able to accomplish and what I'm really proud to be able to do every day. I mean, if we do our job right, then there's more tomatoes, lettuce, cucumber, pepper in the world, and that's something that you can measure tangibly and see exactly how many more heads of lettuce there are today than there were yesterday because you did your job correctly.
What is the biggest challenge?
Industry is pretty conservative. You need to build trust. I mean, these kind of people, they are super passionate about their work, they work super hard and so on, and they do business with people they trust. You know, they don't want to order something online and install it blindly. They want to meet the people behind it. So I think we're also looking for a mechanism to build trust very fast and scale it. I mean, everything else can be solved in one way or another.
What we're doing, technically speaking, can be quite complicated, and I think distilling it into the most simple and consumable package possible is something that's going to set hopefully us apart from anyone else doing this. That's not a trivial thing. Going from a series of complex analytics and theoretical concepts around crop science and cultivation into something that can be translated into a very concrete and easily digestible action plan is something that is quite hard.
What can one earn on average doing this job?
People like money, but I think that for me, doing a startup, the main thing is making a meaningful impact. I think the nice thing about doing a startup is that, especially as the founder, you're bought into the growth and the vision of the company. So, I think if you do your job well, it doesn't really matter what you're earning at the moment. The entire upside is, can you make a big impact at massive scale? And if you do that, then I think the money takes care of itself.
I earned less than I was earning at my first job. I think these are the kind of risks you need to take as a founder. Basically, we're paying us minimum to survive, and we would rather pay a good engineer more or a group scientist more so we can continue with our vision than paying ourselves.
What is your life advice for the younger generation?
First of all, it feels quite sad that I'm not in the younger generation anymore. I remember when I was first starting out, I was very motivated to find a job that I thought was prestigious and earned well. And as I've gotten a little bit older, I think less in terms of the job, and I think more about what problem do you want to solve. If you're solving a problem that you're passionate about, that you're interested in, that gives you meaning, then the specifics of the day-to-day and what your job title is matter less and less.
I think we're steering towards some tough problems, I think, in the next decades. A lot of people take things for given, and this probably will not be the case anymore in the next future. So I think solving these problems will take a lot of work and passion. Honestly, there's nothing you can do without a lot of work and passion. So nothing is given. Take things seriously, put a lot of passion and what you believe in, and work hard.